communicating between captain and passengers. It can be loud on the boat with engines, wind, and water noise, so communications need to be short and loud. Here's some basic terms to call out that can be easily understood. Tell them about the basic callouts and use them when you're about to have changes in momentum or direction. This way they're not surprised. You can use terms like underway, you're about to move from stop position. Coming up, you're gaining speed. Coming down, you're going to slow down. Prepare for wake, you're about to hit another boat's wake or even your own if you're doing an S-turn or a figure 8 shape. Another helpful request is for passengers to use tried and true o'clock lingo when describing the direction. Waterplane flying low at 4 o'clock. This lets you know where to look. Life jackets can make the difference between life and death. Things can happen fast on a boat, so be prepared and wear your life jacket. According to 2023 recreational boating statistics published by the U.S. Coast Guard, where the cause of death was known, 75% of fatal boating accident victims drowned. Of these drowning victims with reported life jacket uses, 87% were not wearing a life jacket. Try not to move once a vessel is underway, and be sure to ask the captain for permission before you do. Unsecure passengers can slip or fall during movement of the boat, so always maintain at least 3 points of contact on the vessel when walking or standing during movement. Stay centered in the boat as much as possible and keep your center of gravity low when moving around the boat that is underway. Staying centered and low is especially important in small boats as they can tip easily, increasing the risk of capsizing. Move slowly and carefully in small boats as quick movements can cause it to tip or capsize. Avoid excessive weight on one side, which can make the boat unstable. Maintaining 3 points of contact. Always keep at least 3 points of contact when the craft on board, or when you're climbing up the ladder or getting on from the dock. What that means is 2 hands and 1 foot, or 2 feet and 1 hand. This helps you stay balanced as the boat rocks with waves and when underway. Distribute the weight in the boat as evenly as possible and take all caution not to have all passengers on one side of the boat. This could cause maneuverability issues and lead to a capsize situation. Take into account gear and other equipment as well. Make sure passengers are seated when underway. They should be in their designated seats. If they're sitting on the bow, stern, side edges, or gunnel, they can easily fall overboard, so make sure they're not. Navigate waves properly. Approach large waves or wake at a 45-degree angle rather than head-on to reduce impact. Slow down in rough waters to maintain control and prevent swamping. Be cautious in shallow waters. Striking underwater obstacles can destabilize the boat. Trim the engine and maintain a safe speed when navigating near shorelines. A small boat can be overloaded easily. Weight distribution is more sensitive as well. We've all seen videos of someone stepping into a small boat and it capsizes. When weight is unevenly distributed, it can tip quickly. Overloading the boat can cause it to swamp or take on water more easily. A good thing to have on board is a few buckets. They make for a great place to store loose items, but they're also great if you unexpectedly take water on board. You'd trade your favorite hat for a bucket. If you need to bail water out, a bucket is a sure thing. According to the 2023 U.S. Coast Guard's recreational boating statistics, alcohol was the leading known contributing factor in fatal boating accidents, where the primary cause was known. It was listed as the leading factor in 17% of all deaths. Using or being under the influence of alcohol or drugs while boating is extremely unsafe. This can include prescription medication as well. They impair bodily and mental function, speed of action, response time, and comprehensive decision-making. When you're piloting a craft, it's your responsibility to be at the top of your game. Imagine for a moment. You and some friends decide to go boating and you have just 1 beer while driving the boat. Someone else on shore decides they want to go swim across the lake as they're training for an Ironman competition. They happen to have no chase vehicle or a flag showing that they're swimming in the water. Imagine you kill or hit that person. Even though it may be reasonable that it wasn't your fault, the scrutiny could lead to public outrage, wrongful death suits, and even pressure to have you thrown in jail. Your boat could even be seized. The legal blood alcohol concentration, BAC, limit for operating a boat in the United States is 0.08%. However, some states have different limits. There's also age-based restrictions. Check your state and local laws. The same can apply for boating under the influence, BUI, of drugs. even prescription medications. So think before you boat. Wake control. When your boat moves in the water, it creates waves. This is the V-shaped set of waves that travel behind the boat. The more water that is displaced, the bigger the wave. Did you know that you're legally responsible for any damage that your wake causes? You need to be aware of what your wake is doing and be considerate of others. Be careful around fishermen who are out there to enjoy the day too. Be mindful of any no-wake zones. Only operate inside a no-wake zone with a throttle just in gear enough to move forward, no faster. When you cross another boat's wake, be careful to slow down, take it at an angle, and use a call like, "Prepare for wake," so the passengers know to hold on. Do not take wakes parallel to the path you're traveling on, as it can capsize you. A large wake can easily swamp or destabilize a small boat.